Yeah, welcome back to my class again today. We are still looking at error handling, right? In the last class, what we did was the try, except block. So in this class, we are going to look at the try, except else block. That is what we want to look at. So we are still on error handling, right? Error handling, right? This is actually runtime error. Runtime error handling. That is what we are looking at. So in this class, last class we did the try except block, meaning once an error is raised, then the except block will catch it and print out an error message on the screen without crashing your program. What if the calculation is done and there is no error raised? That will move to the else block. So I'm just going to do the same thing again. I'm going to use the same math. So I'll say def, right? And I will say var math, right? And then I will supply A, B, C, and D to it. So I will have that. Then here I will just write my try block. There is no point defining the result and assigning none to it, right? So in this case now, see how I'm going to write it. I will say my try block. Inside this try block, I will now write result. Let me, so that it will take it. So I'll come here, I will say try block, then I will say result, right? And I will assign A divided by B multiplied by this C plus D parenthesis, right? This is my equation. Then I will now come here, I will say except, right, 0 division error. I will go in. Here I will say print error. I will just simply write here, I will say division by 0 is not allowed. Then I will close that, right? Then I will come to my X block. Else, where the calculation is correct. Else, print calculation successful, right? Calculation successful. Then here I will just say result is, then I'll close this, I'll say comma, then I'll write my result here, right? So this is what I want, okay? So this is what I want to do. So the try except else block. Now I have written my program. So now this is my program, right? This is my function that I've written. Now I want to call this function. So here I will just say viral, right? Viral math, and I will supply 8, 2, 2, 2 to it, right? And here I will say viral math, now supply 8, 0, 2, 2, right, to it. Now, when I do this first one will give 8 to A, 2 to B, 2 to C, and this other 2 to D. Then it will go in. Inside my try block, this calculation will be done. Now, there will be no error, right? There will be no error at this stage because what you will have is this. Then you have 8 here, right? And then which so it will give you 8 divided by 2 multiplied by 2 plus 2, right? Now this one is 8 divided by 2, right? Multiply by 4. Now, following the law of precedence, so this one will have to be 4 times 4. That will give us what? 16, right? Now, if I try the same thing with this one, this place will become 0. And once you try to divide it, it will throw you this error, zero division error. So this one will give you an output, which is what? 16. Why this one, trying to do this one, will give you zero division error. Then to print error division by 0 is not allowed. So this one will give you this printout, right? Why this one? Because the calculation is done, it's not going to enter into this except block to print out this. It will now come to the else block and it will print out calculation successful, result. Then it will now access this result and it will print out 16, right? For this one, it will print out 16. Why this one will print out division by 0 is not allowed. So you are using the try except else block to capture your output. If the output calculation is done successfully, it will print out the else block. If there's an error, it will capture the error and then it will go in and print out this error message on the screen. So let's go to the PyCharm and let me demonstrate this for you to see. So these are PyCharm. In this PyCharm, we are going to now demonstrate what we did on the board. So here I'm just going to create try except else block, right? .py. Okay, so now I'm going to write my program. I'm going to define the block, define viral math. Then I'll supply my parameters to it, A, B, C, and D. Then my colon, I will go in. Here, I will write my try block. Now, in this try block is where I'm going to carry out my calculation. And whatever the value is, I will assign it to result. So I will type result. And then I will do A divided by B, then multiply. And then I will supply my C plus D. Okay. Now I will have my else. I will do the except block. Except zero division error. Then I will go in. So if there's an error, it will capture it. And then inside the error, I want it to print out. It will print out error. Division by 0 is not allowed. Else, I'm bringing in my else block. Go in and print calculation successful. Result is, then I'll come here and I'll put my comma, then I'll type result. So this is my function that I've defined, the try except else block. So I'm going to call this function and I'll supply values to it. So I will call the function. I will say viral math Then I will supply 8, 2, 2, 2. Then I will just copy this, or let me execute this for you to see what the output will be. Now, there will be no error, so it will print out calculation successful. Result is 16. See, calculation successful. Result is 16.0. Of course, this is because I didn't convert it to int, but that is what I want as my output. Now I'm going to call the function again, and then I will supply 0 value to it so that it will create an error. So I'll copy this. Now I'll change this one to 0. When I execute this program again, it will print out, for this one, it will print out calculation successful. Result is 16.0. Why this one will give me error, division by 0 is not allowed. I will execute it again. See, the first one is giving me calculation successful. Result is 16.0. Why the second one is what? Error, division by 0 is not allowed. So that is what I am showing you in this try except else block. So the next class, now I'm going to show you the try except else finally block. And then we will come to the end of this error handling by exception. Next, then we'll now do what? Assertion. Till we see in the next class. Bye-bye.